So the advice is coming from the firefighters looking at the Bibby Stockton, and they have concluded that it's a death trap, or a potential death trap. The Cabinet Minister, Grant Shapps, of course, he's an authority on fire protection. I always thought I didn't do sarcasm. Maybe that's wit. I hope so. Grant Shapps has said that it certainly won't be a death trap. How does he know? The actual ship was used in Germany to house migrants. There's no reason why it wouldn't be absolutely safe. Ships are used to transport people all the time, and there's no inherent reason why that would be the case. That's actually why these final safety checks are being carried out. So it is hoped that the first migrants will be boarded onto the Bibby Stockholm at the end of next week. Some 50 migrants now, it was initially 90, are expected to board the vessel moored in Dorset. But as I say, the Fire Brigades Union, the FBU, said it was writing to the government after its members raised serious concerns about potential overcrowding and access to fire exits. As the only professional voice, says Ben Selby, firefighters believe the Bibby Stockholm to be a potential death trap. The Transport Minister, Richard Holden, said that you can't put a time frame on when this is going to be active, probably because it's now got a fire inspection negative. I think it's very difficult to resolve this problem. That image of this as a death trap, from a fire point of view, is now going to hang over this. The image of it as a potential scene of rioting is now going to hang over this. The image of this is simply a sticking plaster on a problem that the government has not addressed when it had every opportunity to do so because of an ideological obsession on the part of the Home Office minister. Enver Solomon, the chief executive of the Refugee Council, said there's no link between sending the message that it's harder to process through the asylum system and stopping people wanting to come here. People are prepared to risk their lives in a small dinghy across the English Channel to come here. Why would they be deterred by the Bibby Stockholm or by the threats of going to Rwanda? They are prepared to risk their lives to escape the place where they are currently living. The reason the government is having to use the barge, and it's absolutely the wrong plan in the wrong place, is because it has grossly mismanaged the asylum system, he told Radio 4's Today programme. There's a backlog of 150,000 cases, and if there wasn't that backlog, then the government wouldn't have to use ships. Tony Smith, the former director of UK Border Force, said, the bigger problem for me is the lack of returns or removals. We're not really returning very many people at all. So they know that if they run into a smuggler on the beaches in France, they know they're going to be told, give us €5,000, and once you're across, Bob's your uncle, you're home and dry. So really we do need to get the removals going. But that tells us something, doesn't it? There have been less removals during the time of Suella Braverman than there were before that time, because the Home Office is on a perpetual go slow, which is its interpretation of Theresa May's vicious, hostile environment. Its interpretation may be correct. That may be exactly what Theresa May intended. But in both cases, both the interpretation and the original proposal for a hostile environment are wrong. That's not how you sort out the problem. And both Theresa May and Suella Braverman, and indeed, of course, Priti Patel, they're all obsessed with targeting the victims, the people who are coming here, the asylum seekers, rather than the smugglers. So the whole thing is upside down. But anyway, it's good to know that the fire office object to this barge. In my experience, when the fire office object to something, that is quite a serious issue. But it's nice to know that Grant Shapps doesn't respect the fire office.